Hi y'all, Shira Star Goddess, I'm back. Okay, so I got a video request. I'm sorry I'm so shiny today. I hadn't put on my powder. I just got home from the store. Okay. I got a video request from someone to do a video about how come, you know, when I'm doing a spell, it doesn't work as good as other people who are doing the same spell. How come I don't get the same results, or what am I doing wrong, and how come my spells aren't working, and da 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 da. And this is more for beginners, okay? She said it was like for beginners. So before I start, I'm going to say beginners, as in all things, have to start off slow and small, and they have to build their way up. It's not like you can't just walk into something and automatically become a master at it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to practice. You have to practice. That's why they call, practicing magic. Just like they call a lot of things practices, because there's no right or wrong way to do something, and there's no guarantee. There's, it depends on you and how good you practice and how good you become at your practice. So if you think of it like that, you can start to understand that the more you do it, the more you do your spell work, the more you do your rituals, the more you do your manifesting, the more you write down your spells, the more things you do, the better at it that you will become. And you can't get frustrated, because it's not something that's supposed to be instant. This is a lifelong journey. So if you're just starting, you must have patience. If you don't have patience and you're trying to practice a craft, it's not going to come out good. Okay, so the first thing you should do is understand that it's not going to just take off like that, like instantly. You have to be able to have the patience. You have to practice. Now, some people are very natural at this, and they have their mentality already to a point where things will happen for them faster naturally because of the way that they think and their intentions. Okay, you'll have someone who's a very, very positive thinker, and who's very confident in themselves, and who's very sure of themselves, and who's very, specific in what they're doing, and they will probably come out with better results, rather than the person who has low self-esteem, who has lots of doubts that creep into their mind in the middle of the night, who doesn't have confidence as high as it should be, who is afraid that they're going to fail before they even start. A lot of that has to do with why your spells aren't working. The knowledge that you have behind what you're doing as well. And if you don't know what you're doing, and the spiritual reason behind it, and the spiritual symbolism behind what you're doing, and you're not very specific about what you're doing, then it's not always going to work the way you wanted it to. Think of spell work like a magic genie bottle, okay? Now, we've all seen those movies where people got 3 wishes and they always messed up their wish because they weren't specific enough, or they didn't ask for the right thing. They were just very random and non-specific in general. Okay, you have to be specific, okay? And if what you're asking for is too specific, then that's when you have to be general, especially when it's something that affects someone's free will, like a love spell. You can't do a specific love spell. You have to, like, if the person doesn't love you already and you're trying to get a person, you can't say, oh, I want this special person in my life. I love that person even though they don't have those feelings for me. I just want them to be mine. Love spells don't work like that. Love spells work for if you're already in love, to keep you in love. It also works to attract love to you from various places, not just one place. So, like, for instance, if you did a love spell and, you didn't get the guy you wanted or the girl you wanted, but your kids are showing you more love, your parents are showing you more love, your friends are showing you more love, and being supportive of you and showing you, love, then your spell did work. It just didn't work on the specific person because you can't really affect free will, especially not in those type of feelings. You can do an attraction spell. When you do an attraction spell, you can't do it on a specific person. You have to do it in general. And when you do attraction spells and love spells, if that person that you really want it to work on is around you and you're vibrating and the other people are vibrating higher in attraction and love, towards you, then they will as well, okay? That's why whenever you get, the attraction or the love from someone else and not the one that you intended it from, accept that, because by accepting that and being thankful for that, you are actually creating the vibration to attract more things to be attracted to you. Do you understand? So you have to get out of the negative, my spell is not working. If you've done your spell, have patience. Wait, maybe it's not done. If you automatically just say it didn't work, then guess what? You just turned it off and it's not going to work. So always have faith that your spell is working. Always know that it's going to work out. Always know that, think about, like, if you did a money spell, if you found a penny on the floor, your spell came true, okay? It's not going to be like, you have to start off small and gradual. Once you believe in yourself more and your powers more and your spell work more, the more things that will come to you, the more powerful the spell will become the next time you do it, and the more you will be able to gain from that. Okay, when I first started off doing spells, I didn't get much. I didn't, it was just small little things that I would get excited, even though it was like nothing, just some like little bitty things. They still worked, and by those things working, it built up my confidence in myself and my ability to do spells. It built up my positive thinking, knowing that the next time I do a spell, it's going to work. And it built up a lot of stuff. After a few spells, I never doubted my spell work again. Never doubt your spell work. If you doubt your spell work, that means you don't believe that it's going to work in the first place. So why are you even doing it? Okay? It's kind of like if you were a Christian and you said a prayer to God or Jesus, and you said, "Oh God, bring me some money, Jesus. I need some money to pay these bills." Da 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 da. Right? And Jesus didn't come through, or God didn't come through, and you didn't get any money for your bills. Okay? Do you stop praying to Jesus? Do you think He doesn't hear you? Do you think God's not listening to you? Do you turn your back on Jesus? Do you wonder why this person gets their prayers answered and not yours? Is it because they're better than you? Or is it because they do less bad things than you do? Is it your karma? All of those things start to put self-doubt in your head. So if you're worried about spell work not working, try it again. You have to keep going. There's no turning back. You just have to keep practicing. Practice, Religion is religion. Practice is practice, okay? Religion is like ritual. Do the same thing over. Expect results, okay? That's kind of almost insanity. Practice is trying different methods, getting creative, seeing what you did wrong, fixing this, making this more powerful, tweaking this, adding a little bit more of this, using a candle this time. Tweak it, become creative, write down what you did, see what didn't work, add some more stuff to it. If a candle is going to help you focus on whatever intent that you're having versus, on herbs in a bottle or a witch bottle, then light the candle, okay? Add stuff to your spells. You can't just open a random book and pick out a spell and expect it to work great for you. You have to personalize that stuff. That's why it's called practice. So you get a spell out of a book, okay? It doesn't work for you as well as it should have. So you add your own personal touches, You get out your book of shadows and you rewrite this spell to fit your lifestyle, to fit your character, to include the things that you already work with, the things that you're comfortable working with, the things that you have more faith in. Let's just say you got a spell book and it says, oh, money spell, do this and that, and you have to go out and get all new ingredients, all new stuff that you've never used before. While you have stuff to do a money spell from a previous, spell that you've done that worked, why don't you incorporate some of your old tools and your old things that you use to do the spell, because you believe in those already? Why don't you try to include them in the new spell? It's a practice. You gotta see what works and what doesn't work. So remember, what is this? Okay, I'm looking at my video timer. Okay, so yeah, you have to realize it's a practice. Okay. Now you'll have these older, more experienced witches that can just think. They don't even need stuff. They'll just say da 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 da, and that's because they practiced so long with these herbs, with these candles, with these spells. They have taken the essence of what all of this really is, which is intent, and they've combined it into intention and a mental magic. So, you start off just like in kindergarten. They give you blocks and marbles and stuff like that to learn how to count. And then as you get older, you get a calculator, you get to push buttons, and then they give you paper and scratch paper and then pencils. And then when you get older, you get a computer, and you get the computer, and then you get a laptop, you get a phone, and then you get apps, and then before you know it, you don't need any of that. It's just here. You have it memorized. You don't have to go and figure out what 1 + 1 is with marbles. It's here. Okay, so when you practice witchcraft, it is a practice that is supposed to build you spiritually and mentally and of knowledge. So if your spell doesn't work, it's because you need to rework your spell. You need to get more knowledge on what's, behind this spell. You need to figure out, what means more to you, why isn't it working? Are you thinking positive thoughts? What's wrong with as above, so below? Are you reflecting, positivity to the spell, or do you have faith in yourself? So it is a lifelong journey. You're gonna have spells that don't work. All that is to teach you how to rework it to make it work. Okay. So don't give up. Don't get discouraged. It's just like a mad scientist in their lab, and they're trying to come up with some, special potion, and they try 1,000 times and it fails, and they have to keep going until they figure out how to make it right. So it's kind of like, just think of yourself, like I always say, I'm a spiritual alchemist, because an alchemist has to try many times to learn many things that are hidden. You have to reflect and look inside yourself as well. Okay, so that's my advice for like new witches on how come your spells aren't working. It's just, you have to be able to be patient. You have to be able to tweak it, personalize it, make it your own. Have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, be positive about what you're doing, never doubt yourself. If you're doing it for a bad reason and you feel guilty about it, you're kind of repelling the spell from working already. So if you're trying to do bad magic on someone, dark magic on someone, and you feel guilty about it, it's not going to work. It's going to work against you, because you're sending out negative vibrations from feeling guilty. Okay? So remember, think about what you're doing before you do it. And why isn't it working? You have to look at it from a perspective, like, what am I doing? You have to ask. It's all on you, because you're casting it. So it's you. There's something that you're not doing right, you're not thinking right, and you're not feeling right or vibrating right. Your intentions are crisscrossed. Your feelings and your emotion don't match your intentions. So how can it work? So you have to kind of self-reflect and meditate as to why your spell is not working. Okay? Well, I hope this helped somebody. If you have like an example you want to put in the comments of something that you've done that's not working, put it down there. Maybe I can help you and see, you know, ask you a few questions to help you figure it out yourself if you haven't figured it out yet. And like this video, share it, pass it around, and thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye.